The body believes everything the mind says. Joe Dispenza. This quote prompts us to reflect on the profound connection between the mind, emotions, and body. We are often accustomed to thinking of the body and mind as separate entities, but in truth, they are inseparable. What we feel and think directly affects our biology. Joe Dispenza teaches that emotions, when properly harnessed, can be powerful tools for healing. The body responds to emotions as strongly as it does to physical substances, and positive emotions such as love, gratitude, and joy can trigger remarkable healing processes. Dispenza reminds us that rather than being victims of circumstances and illness, we can become co-creators of our own health. What many people fail to realize is that negative emotions, such as stress, anger, and fear, keep the body in a constant state of alert, impairing its natural ability to heal. But by changing our emotional state, we can change our physical state. By connecting with elevated emotions, we stimulate the immune system, balance the body's chemistry, and allow the body to do what it already knows how to do: heal. In this script, we will explore how your emotions are a powerful tool for restoring health and well-being. We will understand, through the lens of neuroscience and Joe Dispenza's teachings, how emotions affect biology, and how you can apply this knowledge to heal your body and live a fuller, healthier life. Science increasingly demonstrates something Joe Dispenza has been teaching for years. Your emotions directly affect your body. Every emotion you feel generates a biochemical response in the brain, which sends signals to the body. Negative emotions such as fear, anger, and sadness trigger the release of stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones are useful in emergency situations because they help the body deal with immediate danger. However, when you live in a constant state of stress or negativity, these hormones harm the body, suppress the immune system, and create an environment conducive to disease. Dispenza teaches us that the body is always listening to what the mind is saying. If your mind is stuck in patterns of fear, worry, or doubt, the body begins to listen to these instructions and adjusts its functioning to match that emotional state. For example, when you are constantly worried, your body interprets this as a continuous signal of danger, releasing cortisol constantly, which over time leads to immune system depletion, increased inflammation, and even chronic health issues. On the other hand, positive emotions such as gratitude, love, and joy create an entirely different biochemical environment. When you feel gratitude, for instance, the body responds by releasing hormones such as dopamine and oxytocin, which promote a sense of well-being, reduce inflammation, and strengthen the immune system. These elevated emotions create a state of balance in the body, allowing it to function optimally and begin natural healing processes. Joe Dispenza frequently discusses how a person's emotional state directly affects their physical body. When we feel empowered, happy, and at peace, the body responds to these emotions powerfully, initiating cellular healing and even regeneration. This is why Dispenza emphasizes the importance of elevating your emotional state and maintaining positive emotions as part of your daily practice. He teaches that by training your mind to focus on elevated emotions, you can literally change the chemistry of your body, reprogramming it for healing and well-being. The principle is simple but profound. What you repeatedly think and feel creates your state of being. If you live in a state of anxiety, the body stays in survival mode. But if you live in a state of gratitude or love, the body enters a mode of creation and regeneration. Joe Dispenza calls this the shift from survival mode to creation mode, and this change is key to unlocking the body's natural healing power. To illustrate the power of emotions in healing the body, let's explore real-life examples of people who overcame illnesses and physical limitations by reprogramming their minds and emotions. In his workshops and retreats, Joe Dispenza has witnessed numerous stories of transformation, where elevated emotions were used as powerful tools for health recovery. One of the most impactful examples Dispenza shares is of a woman diagnosed with advanced cancer. Doctors told her that her chances of survival were slim and that the treatment would be highly invasive and painful. After attending a retreat with Joe Dispenza, she decided to apply the teachings on the connection between mind, body, and emotions. She began meditating daily, visualizing her body as healed and whole. Instead of focusing on fear and the frightening diagnosis, she shifted her focus to feelings of gratitude and joy, as if she were already completely healed. By repeating this process every day, something remarkable began to happen. Her body responded to these emotions. Her medical exams began to show a regression of the tumor, and over time, she completely healed, much to the surprise of her doctors. What happened here? She managed to change her body's internal environment, moving from a state of stress and fear which exacerbates disease to a state of regeneration and healing, fueled by elevated emotions. Another example comes from a young woman suffering from a debilitating autoimmune disease that drastically limited her mobility and quality of life. Her routine was dominated by pain, inflammation, and a deep sense of hopelessness. After learning from Joe Dispenza how the body responds to emotions, she committed to completely changing her approach. Instead of focusing on the pain and illness, she began to visualize a life filled with vitality, imagining herself running, pain-free, and feeling full of joy. Most importantly, she dedicated daily moments to feeling gratitude, not for something external, but for the simple feeling of being alive, as if she had already achieved healing. From this emotional shift, her body began to respond. Her symptoms diminished, and over time she regained her mobility and health, defying all medical expectations. Her transformation was a direct result of emotional reprogramming, where her body was finally able to shift out of a state of fight and into a state of healing and balance. These examples show that when we change our emotional state, we are literally signaling the body in a new direction. Joe Dispenza explains that when we live in a chronic state of negative emotions, such as fear, anger, or sadness, our bodies remain in a constant state of alert, which weakens the immune system, causes inflammation, and hinders healing. However, when you elevate your emotions and maintain a state of gratitude, love, and joy, the body responds by activating its natural healing processes. This doesn't mean ignoring the reality of an illness or pretending it doesn't exist. What Dispenza suggests is that you can change your emotional response to the situation. Instead of focusing on the problem or the disease, you can start focusing on the state you want to achieve: health, well-being, and balance. And more than just thinking positively, the key is to deeply and authentically feel these elevated emotions. When you genuinely feel these emotions, even before you have physical evidence of healing, your body begins to respond to this new emotional state. Modern science is beginning to validate these processes. Research shows that positive emotions directly affect longevity, heart health, and immune function. Additionally, studies on the placebo effect indicate that genuine belief in healing, combined with positive emotions, can trigger real physical outcomes, such as healing from diseases and rapid recovery. Joe Dispenza advocates that by training ourselves to focus on positive and elevated emotions, we are literally reconfiguring the brain and body to function optimally. The more time we spend in this elevated state, the more the body can regenerate and restore natural balance. Now let's dive deeper into the connection between the mind, emotions, and body, and how this interrelationship can be used to promote healing. Joe Dispenza often explains that the body is like a mirror of the mind. What you consistently think and feel is reflected in your biology. This happens because thoughts and emotions are not just mental processes. They are biochemical phenomena that directly affect cells, organs, and systems in the body. When we live in a chronic state of stress or anger, the body adapts to that state, which over time weakens our immunity, disrupts hormonal balance, and promotes inflammation. In contrast, when we live in an elevated emotional state, the body begins to produce chemicals that promote healing, such as serotonin and dopamine. Additionally, the consistent practice of feelings of love and gratitude raises oxytocin levels, a hormone linked to cellular regeneration and immune system strengthening. Dispenza describes this process as mind-body coherence, which happens when thoughts and emotions are aligned with a state of well-being and healing. He explains that when you maintain this state of coherence, your brain and heart come into sync, generating a powerful electromagnetic field that has the potential to impact the body in profound ways. This coherent field sends signals to the body, promoting balance and regeneration. One of the central mechanisms behind this process is what Dispenza calls the emotional placebo effect. He suggests that when you begin to feel elevated emotions as if healing has already occurred, the body responds similarly to how it would react to a physical medication. The brain cannot distinguish between a real experience and one vividly lived through emotion and visualization. Therefore, by placing yourself in an emotional state of healing, the body begins to operate according to these new instructions. The practice of meditation is one of the most effective ways to achieve this state of emotional coherence. Joe Dispenza encourages regular practice of guided meditations that involve visualizing healing and cultivating elevated emotions. During meditation, the mind calms down. The automatic thoughts that generate stress are interrupted, and you can consciously direct your thoughts and emotions toward states of gratitude, love, and joy. This is the point where physical transformation can begin. By changing your emotional state, you are changing how your cells communicate, altering the body's chemistry, and activating natural healing processes. This is essentially what Dispenza calls moving out of survival mode and into creation mode. Instead of constantly reacting to the external environment, you begin to create a new internal reality, which is reflected in the health of your body. This process is not mystical or miraculous, it's scientific. The science of epigenetics, for example, shows that the internal environment of our cells, influenced by our emotions, can turn genes on or off, including those related to health and disease. This means your emotions can literally rewrite your biology, determining whether you express health-promoting or disease-promoting genes. Healing through emotions is not just possible, it's a reality that many people are already experiencing. Joe Dispenza teaches that by committing to the practice of elevating your emotional state, you can trigger profound healing and transformation processes. The idea that your body can heal with your emotions is one of the most powerful and transformative truths that Joe Dispenza shares. When you understand the deep connection between the mind, emotions, and body, you realize that healing does not come from outside, but from within. By cultivating elevated emotional states and maintaining an intentional focus on health and well-being, you are literally reprogramming your biology to operate at a higher level of healing and regeneration. Joe Dispenza reminds us that we often see ourselves as victims of external circumstances and illness, as if we are at the mercy of factors beyond our control. However, throughout his career, he has shown that this is only part of the story. Yes, the environment and circumstances can affect us, but we have immense power to influence the internal environment of our body through our emotions. When we move out of survival mode, dominated by stress, fear, and anxiety, and into creation mode, fueled by gratitude, joy, and love, the body responds in extraordinary ways. This means you have the ability to be an active co-creator of your physical well-being. The emotional healing process is accessible to everyone, no matter where you start. No matter what conditions you face today, there is always an opportunity to use emotions as a powerful tool to guide the body toward health. The key is consistency, practicing daily emotional elevation, visualization, and meditation, making these habits part of your routine. The regular practice of meditation, as taught by Joe Dispenza, allows you to enter a state of deep connection with yourself, where you can calm the automatic mental chatter and consciously choose how to feel. This is the moment when the magic of healing happens. When you combine clear thoughts about what you desire with intense emotions of gratitude and love, you are creating an energy field in your body that begins to rewrite old programming based on fear and limitation. The emotional state of gratitude, in particular, is one of the most powerful healing tools. Gratitude is not just an emotion to feel when everything is going well. It is an emotion you can cultivate even in challenging times. By practicing gratitude for your body and all the functions it performs, even before seeing physical results, you are sending a signal to the brain that everything is already in balance. And the brain, in turn, begins to command the body to act according to this new state. The journey of healing through emotions is a process of profound inner transformation. It is about learning to be the master of your thoughts and emotions rather than being carried away by automatic conditioning. By dedicating yourself to elevating your emotions every day, you are unlocking latent potential in the body that is often hidden by the tensions and fears of daily life. Joe Dispenza teaches us that the power to heal is within each of us. Elevated emotions are the key to unlocking the doors to healing because they create the ideal biochemical environment for the body to regenerate. But this process requires practice, intention, and above all, the deep belief that healing is possible. So starting today, consciously choose your emotions. No matter what is happening around you, you can always choose to cultivate emotions of love, joy, and gratitude. These emotions will not only change your mental state, but will also change your body's chemistry, creating space for healing and well-being. By practicing this daily, you will be creating an energy field that supports health and vitality, allowing your body to heal and renew itself. Believe in the power you have to influence your own health. The body is always listening to your emotions. Choose to feed it with emotions that promote healing, balance, and harmony. The path to healing begins with a simple step: changing what you feel. By mastering this process, you will not only transform your body but also your life. You have the power to create a new reality of health and well-being, and it all begins with the emotions you choose to feel today. The time to start this journey is now. Your body, your mind, and your future thank you.